Hi guys, today we're going to look at cleaning acoustic guitars, the sort of various pitfalls and tips and tricks of doing it effectively and safely, I guess, without ruining your guitar. So let's jump straight in. What finish have we got here?
This is a nitro cellulose finish.
Very nice.
So thin.
Okay, very thin.
Not quite as durable as the polyurethane finish.
Sure.
Most acoustics up to a certain price point will be poly.
Okay.
Above a certain price point, probably over £1,000, you'd be looking at nitrocellulose guitars. Okay. And you know, custom built, hand built are going to be probably nitrocellulose guitars too.
Fair enough. And the reason for that would be
just time and you know, bottom line really.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, if you're paying a lot for an instrument, I mean, you know, I guess you would expect them to put more time into every aspect of it.
Yeah, and also, you know, the finish. The cellulose finish is going to wear nicely.
Okay, sure.
You know, it's going to get that patina and it's going to get worn in places slowly over time. And
we did cover it briefly when we looked at poly and nitro on the electrics, but the advantage of nitrocellulose, again, struggling with that word, but I'll get there, is it lets the wood resonate and breathe a bit more than
absolutely.
Maybe
whereas the poly, you know, say on an acoustic guitar, you can see it's more like a skin over it. Okay?
Sure.
But you know, the top will still vibrate. Okay, with a poly finish.
Absolutely.
And they can still sound very good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But generally, in theory, the exact same guitar. I know it's impossible because obviously you can't get the exact same wood on two different pieces of guitar. But two guitars, same shape, same age, same tree. You know, everything's. If they've got different, one's got poly and one's got nitro, in theory, the nitro one should possibly sing a little bit more open, a little bit more volume.
In time.
In time, okay.
Yeah, I mean, maybe straight out of the box it might be slightly different, but in time for sure.
Because it will sort of stretch in and wear in, like kind of like an old pair of chains sort of thing. It just starts to get, okay, cool.
So what we're going to use on this, which is, I think, is great for the acoustic finish, this is Martin's guitar polish.
Yeah, very nice.
And again, it contains no silicone, okay?
And that's an important point?
That's like in most household cleaners.
Okay, so they would.
So that's putting something on the guitar and you're cleaning that on it.
Okay.
Rather than cleaning the lacquer.
Right, I see. So it's putting a kind of like a sort of film on it.
And you can use this on electric guitars too. It's ever so slightly thinner than the Gibson pump polish.
Okay.
It just feels a little more sort of free. You can just clean it, okay?
Right, okay.
And it's just a little easier to use on a bigger box of the guitar, as it were.
Sure.
Okay. So we can just put this straight on the blue towel.
Just sort of 3 or 4 sprays on there and
just really get in there.
Yeah.
This is actually, it looks like it's fairly clean, but it's quite grubby.
Okay, cool.
Okay, as you can see.
My goodness.
Slacking.
Absolutely. Yeah, so it's relatively kind of, I guess, medium pressure. You're not looking at being extra hard.
Sure. And then what I tend to do, because there's quite a lot on it.
Okay? Yeah, you can see in places that the polish is
so just turn the cloth over.
Yep.
And use the dry side. Okay.
Sure. Okay, brilliant.
I find with this particular polish as well, similar to the Gibson pump polish, you can just sort of keep on cleaning it, okay?
Okay.
And the same would be on the back and on the neck for sure.
Sure.
This is quite nice on the neck. It doesn't feel like it builds up.
Sure.
So it doesn't become sticky or anything like that.
Yeah. That's definitely something to be aware of. If you know, a huge part of the cleaner that you're putting on can affect it for I guess a reasonably long amount of time, can't it? It just sort of stay on there. And it obviously doesn't feel great under the hand. Yeah. Cool. So I mean, in terms of actual maintenance, kind of, I mean, we haven't really gone over it too much, but the sort of headstock sort of stuff, you're going to predominantly be going over that, I guess, once you change the strings, which we won't go into now, but it's the same sort of process.
Absolutely, yeah. If the strings are off, it's ever so slightly easier to get underneath the bridge,
course,
as well as the headstock end.
Brilliant. And again, fretboard cleaning, is this...
this is an ebony board.
I was just about to say, it doesn't look like rosewood, yeah.
No, it's slightly darker, slightly closer grained.
Yeah.
Use exactly the same way, okay? Sure. You'd use wire wool on this.
Yeah.
If you were at all concerned about falling off the fretboard onto the top here with the wire wool, you can put a little bit of paper or cardboard over the side by the tongue of the fretboard.
It's worth taking the time to do little things like that, because it's you end up spending so much longer doing it and trying to be really, really, really careful. Whereas if you can spend 20, 30 seconds to just get it done beforehand.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that you would ever, go nuts on a lovely guitar, but at least you don't have to worry about the finish too much.
Sure.
Cool. And I mean, in terms of if you wanted to sort of go for the bridge, that's okay with the same polish? Cause
it should be. I mean, the bridge builds up with a little bit of grime off our hands and stuff. But regularly maintained, it won't build up.
Yeah.
Okay. So it shouldn't become too much of a problem.
Perfect. Brilliant. Okay, well I think that's pretty much us, isn't it, really, for acoustics? I mean, make sure you guys check out the fretboard maintenance bit with a guitar like... I would say, is it fair to say that almost all acoustics are going to have either rosewood or ebony fingerboards? I mean, you do occasionally get... I know that Fender have done those crazy hybrids where you get the acoustic body and the the neck, but
no, 99% probably are going to be rosewood boards or ebony boards.
Sure. Is there a reason for that, or is it just aesthetic, or?
It's probably just tone,
Yeah.
The rosewood boards and the ebony boards, resonate and sustain very well.
Okay.
It's more electric guitars that have had a finished neck, and then maple comes into it there.
Sure. Okay, brilliant. Perfect. All right. Well, I think that's us for cleaning. I hope you enjoyed the series, guys. Remember to just take your time. Putting the time and effort into sort of preparing it before you actually clean it is definitely worth doing. And whenever you whip those strings off, go for that fretboard. We'll see you again.